Hey, what is up you guys, GLISKEY here. Pokemon is about friendship and the bonds you make with your Pokemon. This is shown in the original Pokemon games after you beat your rival. Professor Oak comes in right after the final battle and tells your rival he lost because he has forgotten to treat his Pokemon with love and trust. It's even shown in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Your rival thinks that Pokemon are only for battling and mistreats his Pokemon, but he later learns his lesson and his Golbat evolves into a Crobat, which evolves through friendship. This tag is dedicated to the bonds trainers have made with their favourite Pokemon. To start off this tag, I'm going to go through the rules, or really just rule, since there's only one. Your companion Pokemon can be any Pokemon you want. It's your best friend. The bond you've made with this Pokemon was your decision, so I'll leave the choice of your companion Pokemon to you. Now onto the questions. Since this is the first video with this tag, I'm going to list off all the questions and then answer them myself. Just a disclaimer before we start, it doesn't have to be a Pokemon you found in the games. Treat this tag like Pokemon are real, and these are questions you're answering about your companion Pokemon. Question 1. What Pokemon is your companion Pokemon? It can be anything you want. Question 2. Why did you choose this Pokemon? This is where you maybe have a story of your first encounter with this Pokemon in one of the games, or it could just be because you like the Pokemon. It's up to you. Question 3. Did you nickname this Pokemon? If so, what did you nickname it and why? Question 4. What is an experience you remember using this Pokemon in? This excludes how you found or met this Pokemon. This might be something like battling a hard to beat gym because of type disadvantages, or even battling a close friend over a link cable or wireless, and you just really enjoyed the battle. Question 5. What are its attacks? With this question it's completely up to you. Go with a competitive build if you want, or just go with attacks that you feel would be best for this Pokemon. But remember that Pokemon attacks might work a little differently in real life, like Ash's Pikachu using Iron Tail on the ground to hurt a Pokemon that was using Dig, so technically it used Earthquake. These attacks can be anything you want as long as your Pokemon is able to learn them. Question 6. What is companion Pokemon's personality like? This one is completely optional, I just feel like this question really makes your companion come to life. So now it's time for me to answer these questions. Question 1. What is my companion Pokemon? My choice is kind of obvious, but my companion Pokemon is GLISKEY. Question 2. Why did I choose this Pokemon? I remember playing through Pokemon Platinum with my friends during recess and lunch in grade 6. We had already played and finished Diamond or Pearl, so we knew what we were doing at this point. I was up to the bike road and I was riding down, fighting all of the trainers to train up my Monferno, and after one of the battles, I noticed there was grass underneath the bike road. I never noticed this before in my playthrough of Pearl, and that is when my friend told me that is the only place you can get Gligar in this game. Back then I would actually try and complete my Pokedex, so I went down there to get myself a Gligar. I eventually found one, and while I was catching it, one of my friends told me it evolves into GLISKEY. Question 3. Did I nickname this Pokemon? If so, what did I nickname it and why? You can probably tell I nicknamed my GLISKEY GLISKEY when I first caught it as a Gligar, mainly because I couldn't think of a name and I didn't know how GLISKEY was spelled at the time, so that's why it's spelled with a K instead of a C. It's also pronounced GLISKEY instead of GLISKEY, because at the time I thought it was pronounced GLISKEY and not GLISKEY. But its name comes from the word glide and scorpion, so it's pronounced Gly as in glide and Score as in scorpion. Question 4. What is an experience you remember using this Pokemon in? This isn't much of an experience, but more of a rivalry me and one of my brothers have developed between our favourite Pokemon. It's been going on for a while now, but we are both Pokemon fans and have been playing since we were little on our Game Boy. The rivalry hasn't been going on from that long ago. It's more of a recent rivalry between my GLISKEY and his Weavile. We battle every now and again, and he is a much better battler than me, but so many times GLISKEY and Weavile have ended up facing off. With Weavile has won most times because of GLISKEY's Timesfall Ice type weakness, but there have been times where I've been able to pull through and beat it. I've been considering doing a let's play where I hack the ROM so I start with Gligar and my rival starts with Sneasel, and I play through each generation in order with the same Gligar throughout all of the games until I get to generation 4, then I evolve it into a GLISKEY. I just think that would be cool. Question 5. What are its attacks? This is probably the question that is the hardest for me to answer because I've had multiple GLISKEYs over time, because sadly I didn't keep the original GLISKEY, and I've tried a bunch of different builds with the GLISKEY I have now and any other GLISKEY that I've had before then. So I'm gonna go with what moves I'd teach it if Pokemon were real and I actually had GLISKEY with me. Its first move would be Aerial Ace. Because GLISKEY is able to fly using the tiniest gusts of wind to glide all over the place, GLISKEY would have to be an ace at flying to be able to do that, so that's why I picked Aerial Ace. Its second move would be Metal Claw. Because of its big pinches it has for hands, I'd really like to see one of those pinchers glow white like Pikachu's tail does when it uses Iron Tail in the anime. Metal Claw is GLISKEY's version of Pikachu's Iron Tail, I guess. Its third attack would be Poison Jab. It just makes sense that a giant scorpion bat Pokemon would have some sort of poison attack. And I was going to go with Poison Tail, but Poison Jab opens up the possibilities of what GLISKEY could be jabbing with. It could be using its big pinchers or its tail. And his fourth attack would be Sky Uppercut. Again, going back to how he can fly using gusts of wind, I feel like this attack would be good if he gets a little bit of wind to send it up and it uses its momentum going down and its skills at flying to fly into the enemy and punch the opponent as it goes up again. And finally, question 6. What is your companion Pokemon's personality like? Just by looking at GLISKEY's face, I can tell he'd be cheeky and playful. Pretty much a playful dog, except he's not a dog, he's a Gliscor. I did take the original GLISKEY into Soul Silver and have it follow behind me when I could. That was by far my favourite part of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Having a Pokemon walk behind you really brings them to life. And that's it for this video. Like this video if you like this video, subscribe if you want an alert whenever I upload a new video, and comment down below what your answers would be to these questions. For this tag, I'm tagging Birdkeeper Toby, Ace Trainer Liam, Candy Eevee, and PD Winnell, the whole Elite Four podcast crew. I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching.